Well, I'll introduce myself. I'm a Capuchin Friar, Father Bob Udulutsch, and I have made one casket already out of wood that I made for my older brother who was also a Capuchin priest. And the other casket is the one I will show you presently. But I have a picture here on the wall of the casket I made in 2010. Come closer, I think.
Okay.
And see how close you can get it shows up. That would help, I think.
Sure.
There we go. And then we'll go from here to the art room of St. Fidelis Friary in Appleton, Wisconsin. So I'll lead the way here, and this casket was made out of, one was made out of pine wood for my brother. It took me 3 months to make it, and it at a cost of $350, which I thought was a pretty good bargain at the time. And then that inspired me, several things inspired me to make this other casket, and this one is made out of scrap wood covered with brown paper and cardboard. And so this is the casket. The box below is the same one I had for my brother's wooden casket, but the model that you saw on the picture is the same model I had here. In other words, I didn't need extra blueprints or things in my hands to look at because it's already in my head. So oddly enough, when I started this thing, I started with this molding on my brother's casket. This is made out of pine wood, but I love the texture of, this is the exposed end of cardboard. When you put cardboard together, you see the exposed end. It's very rough and rugged, but there's something very attractive about it. So I replicated this, that molding by gluing up stacks of these little pieces of cardboard. Eventually I got smart enough to make up strips, glue those together, then trace the pattern on them, and cut them out of on the bandsaw. The casket is meant to be a Franciscan casket, and I intended it to be a statement that would be countercultural, because we live in a culture that has an astonishing denial of the reality of death. Nobody wants to talk about it. I can't tell you the number of times that I would find out, people would find out that I'm making this and they would say, "You are doing what?" Or
because
no
you were
way.
making it
Or no way.
for yourself,
Well,
right?
whatever.
Especially, but it's for you.
I'm saying we deny the reality of death. We don't want to talk about it, and so we don't talk about it. We talk around it, and anything, and our whole culture reflects this very much. In fact, I always say our culture is self-contradictory, because on the one hand we don't want to talk about death, on the other hand we smoke too much, drink too much, drive our high-powered cars too fast, almost as if we're ready to do ourselves in. So it's contradictory. So I wanted to make a statement with this casket that was countercultural. It was also meant to be a Franciscan statement on the environment. This casket is 99 and whatever percent biodegradable. It's made out of wood that has been covered in brown paper and cardboard. The untempered masonite on top is basically cardboard. I also wanted it to be a Franciscan casket, and so the statement that runs around the bottom of the casket here is from St. Francis himself, "Praise be to you, my Lord, for Sister Death, from whom no mortal can escape." Then on the other side it continues, "Blessed are those she finds watching, no harm can come to them, the second death can do them no harm." Now I call your attention here to,
On the other side, you mean the long
I
side?
call your
Okay.
attention here to the opening words, Laudato Si. That's the Italian for "Praise be to you, my Lord." That also happens to be the title of the encyclical of Pope Francis on the environment. When this
Yes.
new pope became pope, he chose his name from Francis of Assisi. And Francis of Assisi is the patron saint of the environment. And so that's why all of this is a statement also about the necessity of being sensitive of what, as a pope would say, what we've done to Mother Earth,
Yes.
poor Mother Earth. And so this is environmentally friendly. I also wanted it to be a joyful statement. On top of the casket here, maybe you can photograph that.
Yes.
Top of the casket is a dancing St. Francis, directing music, singing and playing. And the Psalm 105 says, "Oh, sing and play before the Lord, tell his wonders to all." I'm going to move the casket out a
Okay.
bit and then show you on this front end, or the head end of the casket. This is a woodcut, and on the back is this little woodcut showing St. Francis on the night before he died. He asked his brothers to carry him outside of the city of Assisi so that he might bless the city that he loved so much. And so he did that, and I don't know if these words were at the same time, but these words from Francis: "What a person is when appearing before God, that alone is what one is, and nothing more." And I don't know how you would say it better than that. We'll open the casket.
Agree.
Now the hinge, the hinge is also made out of cardboard. And the handles here are the same as the cord we wear in our habits, and it's upholstered with the same brown material that we make our habits out of.
Oh, I
The
see. I didn't know that.
the bed of this casket is made of laminated or plywood, 3-ply cardboard, not plywood, cardboard. The pillow is my 35-cent pillow from St. Vincent de Paul. And you know, when you go to a funeral parlor, the undertaker takes out a crank out of his pocket and cranks up. There's a screw
The
that
head.
runs through the bottom of the thing, and the whole bed of the casket rises or lowers depending on how he wants it. But this is much simpler. to put it on a fulcrum.
Oh, that is.
So it's on basically a seesaw thing. The casket weighs 162 pounds. This bed of the casket weighs 42 pounds. On the inside as on the outside, I wanted to use both words and pictorial symbols that say something. This is the one of the three women at the tomb on the day of the resurrection, and they want to know, where is he? So when I'm lying in this casket here and someone says, where is he? Well, where did this guy go? Well, he's not here, he's been raised up. That's my idea of it anyhow. And then I found these wonderful quotations. Psalm 143, I must have been praying for, well, all of my years in the order. And then this never struck me before, and one day I came across it. Take away the human breath, and you return to the earth from which you came, and that's the end of all your plans.
Ah.
Well, that's pretty sobering, I think.
Ah, goodness.
And then the bottom one is from an old German prayer book I found. The German says, Nur ein Hauch trennt Zeit von Ewigkeit, meaning only a breath separates time from eternity. So these are meant to convey a message that's counter to our culture. It's I mentioned it's biodegradable. This is the only metal in it, plus the couple nails here, and then screws to hold the bottom in, which is a hollow door that I bought from Habitat for Humanity for $3.
Oh my goodness.
So that's pretty well it. Do you have any questions?
What about the other side?
Oh,
Did
the back of
you
it?
have an inscription, don't you?
Well, that
on
just
the-
continues this on
Yes,
the other
okay,
side.
let's see, I'll go around this way then.
Praise to you for sister death, from whose grace no mortal can escape.
Yes,
Come this way.
okay. Well, I was just gonna continue
okay.
around this
Yeah.
way.
Do you wanna
Okay,
grab it?
because it continues, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Let's see, I got the, okay. Happy those she finds doing your
Your will.
will.
The second death can do them no harm.
The second death. And that's St. Francis, yes.
Francis of Assisi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you said that the Capuchins are emphasizing green burials more.
Oh, yes.
Your order.
Yes.
Mhm.
I hope to, or intend to be the first friar who will be, have a green burial. A green burial means there's no embalming, there's no casket liner, nor a vault. The hundreds of gallons of toxic waste that comes from embalming goes into the ground every year. Thousands of tons of cement or metal from the metal caskets goes into the ground, and it's not biodegradable. And so the Pope justly asks the question, what have we done with our beloved Mother Earth? We've made it I think he used the word cesspool or something like that. So, yeah. So we're the only ones who can do anything about it.
Yeah.
If you make a mess, clean it up, I guess.
It won't be just the casket then, it will be also the way that
Right.
your body is handled.
I currently have a cancer that I'm going to eventually die from. It's a cancer of lymphoma, and it is also going through my whole body, and it is also in my bone marrow. I have no pain. I have not much of an appetite, but I do lack a lot. I do lack energy. I don't have an awful lot of energy. But this whole building of this casket has been very therapeutic for me personally. I find it, it's been an enormous blessing. And as I keep telling folks, when you were kids and someone gave you a gift, your parents always said, "Now, what do you say?" So I say thank you, and this is, I think, a cause of great peace and joy. These handles, incidentally, push in when necessary, or and pulled out of the way. So that's the scrap wood, brown paper, and cardboard. casket. And this is sort of a viewing room of my casket factory.
Ah,
Uh,
well, and the total cost was?
oh, this one cost me $35,
Ah,
which is pretty extravagant, I guess. But I think I got my money's worth.
I think so.
Yeah. So I keep this covered with plastic, probably because the pipes above sometimes sweat.
We're in the art room for the friary.
Right.
So you're here working on wood and cardboard and everything else, and others are working on painting and
Well, we're
all kinds of things.
a bunch of old guys who are finding our last journey quite eventful.
Mm. Well, I really
there
appreciate
we
this
are.
tour, Father Bob. You call it a tour of your casket, and
Yeah.
you're so, it was so imaginative, but also you're so nice to show it to others and
Well, you're
explain the genesis of it.
You're
So,
welcome.
thank you.
Oh,